Arizona Cardinals beat Ryan's New England Patriots in Week 15 to go to 7-7 on the season, keep their playoff hopes alive. Now they get to travel to Charlotte to take on Bryce Young and the Panthers, who are looking to bounce back after a tough loss. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to break down this Week 16 matchup between the Cardinals and Panthers. But before I do that, thank you to everybody that subscribed to the Tracy Take this year and helped us reach our goal of 6,000 subscribers. Can't believe that that's even possible. We're looking forward to an amazing 2025 with y'all. This is your first time here and you like the content that we put out, hit that subscribe button, tackle that bell, and leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think will win this game and why. Ryan, Arizona Cardinals just had a good game against your New England Patriots. We're going to talk more about your Patriots and the New England Buffalo preview. But here, I thought the Cardinals just played a solid game overall. Definitely took advantage of some of y'all's mistakes, but at the same time, though, too, I just thought it was a good bounce-back game for this Arizona team who has been reeling a little bit. They had lost 3 games in a row coming off their bye in Week 11, so they needed a win to get things back on track, get back to 500. We're recording this actually shortly after the Seahawks Green Bay Sunday night game. So they're only a game back from Seattle as of right now, and a game back from Los Angeles Rams, who are now the division lead, actually. So very well within the division race, 2 games back from Washington for the last wild card spot as well. So a lot can happen for them. So they really need this win coming in here. Luckily, they're going up against a Panthers team that have given up 200-plus rushing yards, not once, not twice, but 3 games in a row now.
Yeah.
And want to throw it over to you with this segue. Arizona's 7th-ranked rushing offense on the season. What are your thoughts on this matchup for Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very favorable one. This Panthers team is of New England caliber, except this defense is actually worse somehow. And for me, like you look, they ran for 5.1 yards per carry against the Patriots, 32 carries, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They didn't do anything fancy this past week. They were just the better team, and they proved that. They capitalized on the mistakes of the Patriots, and all in all, it's just like they're a 7-7 team. Like they're a team that is going to beat up on these bad teams. They're a team that I think can be competitive. They have talent and grit. I still just think they're a little young at the moment, especially at like some crucial skill position players like wide receiver. They need some talent, I believe, at corner as well. But I mean, honestly, this is a fun Cardinals team coming in here. I think they're going to want to do a heavy dose of running the football with James Conner, Trey Benson. Trey McBride has been a big threat over the middle for them this year. Marvin Harrison Jr. has had a really, really solid year. So it's been a really good season, I think, for the Cardinals, kind of in terms of building forward. And I think this is just one more kind of, I guess, traffic cone on their road to being a contender.
No, it's Arizona Cardinals, as I mentioned, 7th-ranked rushing team overall, 163 rushing yards today against your Patriots team. And this, just put in perspective how bad this Carolina Panthers rushing defense is. They're last in rushing yards allowed by 30 yards. They average 173 rushing yards per game. Next closest team is the Giants at 143. And then the dad's team, the Indianapolis Colts, at 141. And so your Patriots are actually at 127, 22nd overall. So not too bad. So it could be much worse, Ryan.
It could be. And frankly, I don't really feel like the Cardinals even really tried to do anything.
No, it could have been worse. But I think one of the things that I thought was interesting too is so obviously we're going to talk about the rushing game. I do think the Panthers secondary isn't atrocious. Actually, I think they're actually like average to maybe slightly above average overall. Teams just don't really have to press them that much just because of how bad the rushing defense is. So, but I bring that up because I thought it was very interesting because I do think the Cardinals are trying to make a big effort to try and get the Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. connection just that much more built up, especially to like for this year, but also then next year and the following year as well, because Marvin Harrison Jr. has that talent. And I bring that up specifically because you see right now the connection that Kyler Murray and Trey McBride have as well. You go look, Trey McBride had 10 targets a day, 9 catches for 87 yards. If you go back and look at some of his past games, it seems like he is just getting a bunch of targets over and over again. And so he had 14 targets against Seattle, 12 targets against the Minnesota, 12 receptions, 15 targets against Seattle, 12 receptions. And this is Trey McBride. So imagine then too as well if you had another person as well. If you could start to translate some of Michael Wilson's and Greg Dortch's targets to someone with the talent that Marvin Harrison Jr. has, and they really tried to press Marvin Harrison, press Christian Gonzalez. I thought it was good reps, good practice. Thought there were some good throws. Christian Gonzalez is just one of the top cornerbacks in the league.
Yeah.
So they weren't able to connect with some of those touchdown passes. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's still a pretty serious effort, though, moving forward on some of those fade routes, especially if you're at the 25 or 30 and Marvin Harrison Jr. gets one-on-one coverage. Because I think more often than not, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to win those matchups here as well. And I think that could just be another kind of fun layer this Cardinals offense could have if they can start to develop that deep connection with, and I say deep, both deep ball, but also just more deep connection when it comes to just that quarterback receiver mindset as well. Because that's something that the Cardinals have right now in Trey McBride. He's probably like their go-to target guy. Then you have a lot of good other role players, Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch also that I've mentioned. But Harrison Jr. has that talent. And that's one of the things I noticed today playing against your Patriots, where if they can get that connected there, like look out for this offense to even take off even more in the passing game. Because running-wise, we all know what they can be. James Conner, he's had several 100-yard rushing games today. This season. Wouldn't be surprised if he has another one this upcoming game as well against Carolina. So on the flip side, though, for the Cardinals, their defense isn't as poor as Carolina. No defense really is as poor as Carolina's, but there definitely are some faults. And I'm going to be curious as well to how much they can get after Bryce Young. Bryce Young actually, at times, I thought did a really good job being shifty in the pocket and creating loose. He just didn't have good ball control today. And I think that's going to be one of the things that they really focus on. For the Panthers, I think the biggest thing is I thought that they were setting themselves up well in the first half of the game. They just kept making just the normal turnovers we're used to the Panthers making the past couple of years. But felt like the past 2 months they'd kind of gotten rid of those, and they kind of took a step back today. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Is I think this team's making steps in the right direction offensively. They just need to be able to protect the ball more. And so if they're able to do that, I wouldn't be surprised if Chuba Hubbard also has a really good rushing game as well. Arizona Cardinals defense is statistically average nearly across the board. 16th in total yards allowed, 16th in passing yards allowed, 18th in rushing yards allowed. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chuba Hubbard also has a 100-plus yard rushing game today. I think those are the two. If there's two stat lines I'm watching, also too, they're both on my dynasty teams. I'm going to be in the semifinals. So I really want this, but I want Chuba Hubbard over 100 rushing yards. James Conner, wouldn't be surprised if he's over 130 as well going into this game.
Yeah, and I mean, this Panthers offense has been clicking. Obviously, not as much. Not so much this past week, but Bryce Young has looked good since he's come back in as a starter. Xavier Legette did pull his groin, so we'll have to see kind of his status for next week. But all in all, this offense has been clicking. This defense, like you said, is the worst in the league. But it's just it is fun kind of watching this Panthers team because progress isn't linear. Today was a setback in the progress that they've made overall. But I think in the bigger picture, I think Panthers fans are going to be really happy where this team is at the end of the year, especially compared to the beginning of the year.
Compared to what it was like last year, absolutely.
There's
some hope for this Panthers team, which I hate, as you can tell who I root for. Like, no, I want Panthers teams to have absolutely no hope whatsoever because it's just we're already struggling with the Bucs and the Saints. Now, if you guys start, I'm nervous about our Week 18 matchup, to be completely honest. With the way this Panthers team is going. I will probably just run the ball all over you guys, but still offensively, though, like this Panthers team is taking those strides forward. And I think Bryce Young is making more and more of a case that he can be the guy. He just needs more help. And also, too, let's imagine how well this team has been playing. Ooh. Hello from Sutton. Without how well this team has been playing, if this team has somewhat of a defense, they beat Kansas City, they beat Tampa Bay. This game with Dallas is probably closer as well. So, like, their record's significantly better. And there's even some other games, too, earlier on in the year that we could probably point to where if this defense was just 10% better. So like this offense is coming together. Dave Canales is doing a good job with this offense here. So
Yeah.
when it comes to predictions, though, I don't think he's doing. I don't think this offense is coming together well enough, at least for this matchup. And I'm going to go with Arizona here. I think with a heavy run game as well. I also think, too, another thing going back to my James Conner point as well, Trey Benson also got hurt during the game, so that's just going to be another guy that might take some carries away. So potentially could see a lot of Emery DeMercado as well. Dermanicondo.
No, you actually said it right the first time. But yeah, I'm going with Arizona as well. I think they're just the better team in this matchup here. You have one team that's vying for the first overall pick, and you have another team that's going to be fighting for a wild card spot. And so I think Arizona is gonna get it done here in Charlotte. And yeah, they're just a better team.
Perfect.
So
I like it.
Let's go ahead. Let's wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the Arizona Cardinals? Will it be the Carolina Panthers? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.